technology to help us see into other dimensions? China developing laser technology, and a whole lot more. It's time for another UFO news roundup. So get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like, please subscribe, share on social media, and let me know what you think in the comments below. Okay, let's get right to it. We are swimming in an unseen waves of energy, invisible until a detection system is invented. This is a view of radio frequencies from thousands of sources. Invisible frequencies we can't normally see. But now we are able to see what the naked eye can no longer perceive thanks to this developing technology. So, the big question is, could that... Yeah, this is from Apple Vision Goggles. That's crazy. And could this help us see UFOs and other dimensional objects? Could this technology be used for that purpose? That is a really exciting application of this new developing technology. And I can't wait to see how that plays out. So what do you think, guys? Is this going to be the game changer that allows us to see more UFOs and even some of the weirder, trippier aspects of the UFO phenomenon? I'm very excited by this technology. I'll be honest. I think that's super cool. In other news, the Chinese military scientists claim to have achieved a huge breakthrough on laser weapon technology. High-energy laser weapons can now operate infinitely thanks to a new cooling system that completely eliminates the buildup of waste heat. The technology could significantly change the face of battle by extending engagement times and increasing range and damage. Damage against who? My wife is in China right now. She's Chinese. She's coming back in a few days. I don't know, guys. Chinese military scientists have announced a major breakthrough in laser weapon technology, claiming they have developed a new cooling system that allows high-energy lasers to operate infinitely without any buildup of waste heat. According to scientists at the National University of Defense Technology in Changsha, Hunan Province, the new cooling system completely eliminates the harmful heat that is generated during the operation of high-energy lasers. The issue has been a major technical challenge for laser weapon development. So, great. So China is developing battle-capable laser technology, and they have just come up with a major new advancement. Yay. Speaking of technology, here's a quote from David Grush. Not breaking news or anything. This is a previous quote from him, but it's always important to keep this in mind. One of the most scandalous facets of withholding the technology is that we could have been generating clean energy for decades, but continue to deliberately pollute the earth with oil. Climate change tech is being withheld. This technology has the potential to have a hugely positive impact on the ecosystem. The Department of Energy, which is also part of the Secret Services, has some explaining to do, because this is a crime against humanity and the earth. We use the tech for war and not for peace and nature. The people who withhold this will one day have to apply for amnesty somewhere for crimes against humanity. So the control group isn't just guilty of a cover-up and various murders and skullduggery over the years. They are guilty, according to David Grush, of crimes against humanity. And what he's saying is completely true, as far as I know. And, of course, he probably knows more than I do. But the control group is in access to game-changing technology that could give us clean energy. I'm not a huge climate change person, but I do agree we need to treat the earth better, and if this technology could help get us there, then we need access to that tech. Okay, but what about Peru? I know everybody wants to know what the heck is going on in Peru with the alien attacks. Well, we don't know a whole lot since apparently the men in black have descended on the scene and shut everybody up and is spreading disinformation. But we do have researchers looking into the issue, and people are finding out that this is not the first time this has happened. In 1983, giant luminous floating beings like those described in Peru were causing panic at Ventanilla, an indigenous tribe in Bolivia. During the same incidents, a UFO caused interference and stopped a diesel train motor. And that's in Spanish, so I'm not going to be able to read it to you. There is an English language translation of an article down here, and it does talk about some of this stuff. But it's very awkward. It's not, well, it doesn't make for great reading at the moment, but I will link to this and let you peruse it at your leisure. But yeah, yes, indeed, there were luminous beings being sighted by the indigenous people in Peru in the 80s. They stopped a train, they terrorized a bunch of people. People were actually able to band together and chase them off, which is really interesting because that is also kind of what you hear about currently going on in Peru. These luminous beings, these silver beings show up, people start shooting at them, nothing happens, but the beings don't seem to like it very much, and they get in their UFOs and fly away. So you have some of the same sorts of things going on, right? The locals getting together, attacking these beings, and actually having some effect. What does that mean? Is this a very small group of beings with limited technology? What are we dealing with here? Are they non-humans at all? Could they be survivors of a previous epoch of humanity, or underground people, or ultra-terrestrials? What are these guys? I don't know, but Lou Elizondo says the Navy knows, and they have been hiding it from their own people. Here's an old quote from Lou, but it's kind of a slow news day, and it's important to go over what we already know. It's so easy to lose sight of our established base of knowledge in the face of new events. We see a shiny penny and we go for it, and we lose the old penny. But the old pennies sometimes are gold, as is this old quote from Lou. It was the overwhelming weight of evidence and data. I was talking to pilots routinely. There's videos out there. There's one that's 23 minutes long. Yeah, I'm still waiting for that one, Lou. Where's that 23-minute long video? There's another one where this thing is 50 feet away from the cockpit. I mean, it ain't ours. We know that. Sometimes you just can't believe it. You'd have 7 or 8 incidents in a single day. I'd get these emails from an admiral or a ship's captain saying, Lou, what do you want me to do? I can't keep people below deck forever. These things are swarming my ship. They're all over the place. And I've actually heard that exact report from the other side before. I've even covered it on the channel, one particular incident where a sailor was being not allowed to go out on the deck, and he later found out it was because of a giant UFO that was just off the bow of the ship. So the Navy knows what's going on, or at least they have enough idea to know not to let their own sailors in on the secret. So what is going on? How much do they know? Is it more of a hands-off policy? Is it a situation where the people at in a certain core group, as I believe, have access to this knowledge, but they have enough clout to spread their will throughout the Navy, saying, hey, if you see one of these things, get your crew indoors and don't let them see it? That's what it looks like to me. Or do you think this is just very widespread throughout the Navy and this is just standing orders? If you see a UFO, don't let your people see it. Okay, but the incidents we're seeing in Peru and even the previous incidents in the 80s, not the first go-around between Peru and the phenomenon. This has been going on for a long time down there. One of my favorite researchers, Steve Mera, is doing some research into these guys, these mummified bodies of potentially non-humans, and they are doing a lot of research on these guys, finding out that things are not as simple as they appear to be with this case. Some of these have proven to be hoaxes. Some remain anomalous. And so it appears for these bodies. I don't think we have final word on what these things are, but they are super fascinating, and I will link to this documentary in the links below for you to check out. But as I've talked about before, down in Peru, they have a long history with the phenomenon, multi-leveled, complicated, weird history. Most of it lost to history, unfortunately. And the jungle has overgrown entire cities down there that may or may not have been built by the survivors of Atlantis or some similar situation. And these may be some of the beings that were working with the people at the time. Meanwhile, J. Christopher King is doing very important work, actually providing counseling to people who have experienced anomalous events. I think this is really critical. I think it's also critical going forward in the post-disclosure world, if we ever really get to that point, and I think we will. But we need to have counseling set up to help people going through the ontological shock of this new reality. However, before we get there, we also very much need counseling for people currently going through stuff they don't know how to deal with. And my hats are off big time to J. Christopher King. Let's listen for just a moment of what he's doing.
And then it opens up the possibility for these experiencers to compare notes and be able to post and talk with each other and say, you know, has anybody else seen XYZ at XYZ time? Or, you know, has anybody else experienced strange synchronicities that coincide with their UAP experiences? And other such questions that
I think that is amazing. That's wonderful. The fact that this man is actually helping out people who are going through some traumatic events, or at least learn to deal with the events they are going through, whether they're traumatic or not. And even if they're not bad, they can still be traumatic just by their very nature, their otherworldly, crazy, trippy nature. So, you know, again, hats off to J. Christopher King. I really love what he's doing, and I hope more people take up the challenge of helping people that are experiencing anomalous phenomenon. And also, I do hope somebody takes up the mantle of helping those go through the shock of learning about the phenomenon. Because as disclosure progresses, we're really going to need that. We're going to have people freaking the F out. I mean, you know, I had years to integrate this new knowledge and to delve down whatever rabbit hole I wanted and to study it and, you know, every particular. But some people this is all very new to them. And if disclosure happens very rapidly, and it's not happening rapidly enough for me, but it's going to happen too rapidly for some people, and they are going to be freaked the F out, and they are going to go through a major crisis. You know, there are a lot of people that think that that is the reason why the control group has withheld this from us for so long, is because they're afraid of panic in the streets. They're afraid people are just going to go crazy. Well, I don't think it's going to be that bad, but there is going to be a subset of the population that acts something like that. There are going to be people that just freak out, and we need a support set up to help those guys and ladies when that happens. So I love what J. Christopher King is doing. I hope more people do it, and I hope some system is set up or being set up to help people in the future that are learning to incorporate this new reality into their lives. But there you go. There's the UFO wrap up for today. Not a whole lot of big breaking news going on, but I will have more stories coming up later because there are certain specific stories going on that are definitely worth sinking our teeth into. But we are very much waiting for the next shoe to drop. So fingers crossed that happens sooner than later. And let me know what you think about this news. We've got China developing crazy battle lasers. We have new technology that may be able to help us see UFOs. And we've got J. Christopher King, who is developing actual support for people going through anomalous events. Let me know what you think about it all in the comments below. And if you have enjoyed this wrap up, give me a big thumbs up. I sure would appreciate it. Smash the subscribe button and the bell to be notified of future videos. You don't want to miss a thing. Join me on social media. There's Facebook and Twitter links below. If you want to support Cosmic Road in a bigger way, there's a PayPal button below. You can just leave a one-time donation, or you can become a channel member. Channel members are rock stars, and I really appreciate what you guys do. Thank you so much. Meanwhile, there are plenty of other videos to check out on the channel, and I will see you guys next time. This is Jack with Cosmic Road signing out.